Good morning. This is Dr. Michael Datcher, and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy Show with your host and your boy, this guy, Dr. Michael Datcher. The show airs each weekday morning, hella early AF at 4:45 a.m. On YouTube's Michael Datcher channel right now, and then 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Today, guys, we're talking about rewards. What is the reward for doing the type of work that we'll be talking about today, for being in the spirit of service, the spirit of one love, the spirit of joy? How does that particular mindset both reward you, and how are those things I just mentioned manifested as reward? So get ready for an interesting show. If you're new, you can go to productivethroughjoy.com to see about us. We speak to groups, schools, and organizations about being productive through joy. You can also what am I saying? You can also hit that subscribe button right now and get all these videos for free. I did say free. One, two, three, four, free. So thanks for being here. So I should also say a few words about myself first. This is your host and your boy. For those of you who are new, this is your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher, author of the New York Times bestseller Raising Fences, author of the acclaimed historical novel Americas, author of the also acclaimed book of literary theory, animating Black and Brown liberation, a theory of American literatures. I am the board president of the World Stage, a 501c3 nonprofit here in Los Angeles. My educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergrad, my master's from UCLA, and my PhD in English literature from the University of California at Riverside. Guys, I'm an expert at being productive. I don't say that to brag or boast, but people are oftentimes surprised at my level of productivity, given how crazy my own personal narrative is. I am the product of a young girl who was sexually assaulted. As a result of that assault, I was born at the age of a month, given up for adoption to an amazing single divorcee. Yet at the time, no biological father, no adopted father. Listen, difficult times for the young MD. Yet, as Cool Mo D famously said, "How you like me now?" And if I can be this productive and be so through joy, I know that many of us who are watching the show can be similarly productive, which inspires me personally, inspires our show, inspires all the work that we do here, because we know it's not where you're from, it's where you're about to go. So thanks for being here today. Again, we're talking about rewards. I should also say I'm on the book tour for my last two books, which just came out within the last year. Uh, for animating Black and Brown liberation in Americas. We just came back from the Vermont, the Brattleboro Book Festival, Literary Festival, the Brattleboro Literary Festival in Vermont. Then we went over to the Louisiana Book Festival. Then we just got back from there. Now we're heading Thursday out to the Kentucky Book Fair in Lexington. So if you're in the South, come see me. I know it's probably cold right now over there. Hopefully, I'll bring some California sunshine to that part of the country. But I'm coming, cold or not. All right, so guys, thanks for being here. Let's dive in. We're talking today, guys, about rewards. So point one is that you want to think about what type of reward, and that's just a broad kind of umbrella term for what do you want? Like, what's your intention? What are you trying to achieve? What are your goals? Rewards is kind of a broader kind of a catch-all term for all those ideas, right? So what are you looking to be rewarded with? I think it's important to have a good understanding of what you want. People in the activist world, and I've been, of course, guilty of this as well. We are great at standing up and fighting for what we are against. We aren't always as successful at articulating or being as excited for what we actually want. I'm not sure what that's about, but I've seen that all in my activist oriented life. We do just a better job at knowing what we don't want as opposed to what we want. I am saying that we need to think about, and I would encourage you to think about what you want. Like what reward do you want, right? So once you can settle on one, two, or three things or more, you then want to start placing what I'll just call your intention around those rewards. I'm smiling now because I'm thinking about all the stuff I do to place intention, to place the idea of the things, of the rewards that I want in my own life into my mind, because there really is just one thing. We call it, at times, people call it the universal mind, they call it one love, they can call it God, but there's really one thing. I mean, we know that both through science and belief. Um, we know that through science that energy, which is the original underlying force of all things, cannot be created or destroyed. It just changes forms. So that means that all that was here is that all that was here in the very beginning of time is still here in some form or another right now, and it's everywhere. Which means that it's also got to be inside of you, which means that you and I are a part of the original thing. So part of our, if we are smart, a part of our intention has got to be to commune with that one thing, with that one love, with that primordial energy, with that God thing, with that Yahweh, that Christ, that Buddha, that Allah, whatever you want to call it, that primordial energy, because that is where the real power is, right? And the real gratitude. And so you want to then set that as an intention. Think about the things you want to align with, and we encourage people to also align with your belief in a higher thing, something bigger than you. Call it energy. I have colleagues who are agnostic and atheists, but they, because they're scientists, they know science is real, unless you're in the Trump administration, uh, and they know that listen, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It just changes form. So they know that. So they know that what was here in the beginning is still here in some form. So you can believe in that, whatever. But what you want to do is you want to be able to access that power, because the implications are incredible. Meaning, if you can place in your consciousness, because you are that thing. If you can place yourself in the spirit. For example, if you want to be rewarded with peace, right? When you begin to meditate on that and think about what that would feel like to have peace, and then engage in activities to help you stay in that mind frame, right? It's best seen through example, right? So I'll give you one of my intentions as an example. So one thing that I'm looking to do, for example, there's many things, but there is a reward, like an actual prize, a reward for writers that I want to win. So each day I see myself at the award ceremony, I see my family there and see me give my little speech, and do many things around that, right? So that's one way of keeping my mind in that particular framework, all right, which goes right into point three. As you can consistently make an intention out of your reward and then do the work. It isn't enough just to visualize it or have an intention. You have to actually do the groundwork. That can be what separates those who have great success at achieving, receiving the rewards, and those who don't. You have to combine, kind of theory and praxis. You got theory and praxis. You have to kind of uh, do the metaphysical work and do the physical work. So, boom goes the dynamite. That's all for today's show, guys. We are each weekday morning, hella early AF at 4:45 a.m. and then 4:45 p.m. here on Facebook Live. Thanks for being here again. If you are in America, in the South in particular, I'll be at the Kentucky Book Fair this weekend. I arrive there Friday with this big author party on Friday, and then the actual book fair is on Saturday. I'll be in conversation with Frank Walker and Adrian. I can't even pronounce Adrian's last name. Those are two current and former poet laureates. But also we're talking about literature and its role in the world. It should be pretty interesting. So I'll be reading from Animating Black and Brown Liberation. Yeah, I'm excited about that conversation. Come out, let's hang, and thanks for being here, guys. We'll see you soon. Until then, let's talk about it and be about it. Deuces.